Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. This is just a quick video here to let you know what's going on with the Global War 1914 game. So finally it is coming out. I know I keep saying that, but it's arrived. All the components have arrived at Historical Board Gaming down in Tulsa, and mine is already shipped. It shipped yesterday. I've got the tracking numbers and everything, and the pre-sale ones will begin shipping on Monday. That's this Monday, May the 1st, and that doesn't mean that yours will be shipped if you had a pre-sale. Like we sold more than we thought we would, to be honest with you, and so we're pleasantly surprised about that. Like not twice as much or nothing like that, but we did sell more than we thought we would in the pre-sale. And so to get the orders correct and everything, you can't just throw them in a box and ship them off, right? Like, you got to make sure they're packed properly and make sure that everything that you ordered makes it into that box. Try not to make any mistakes, right? So they're going to do a careful job, and they're going to try to get your game to you in as best condition as they can. So yours they will start shipping on Monday, and then in about a week after that, I'm not sure, give or take. I'm not down there, so I don't have any control over it, but about a week after that, that's when the game will go on sale for people who didn't buy in the pre-sale. So just because the games are shipping out right now doesn't mean that you can go on the website and buy one right now. You're just going to have to wait. You're probably wondering, what are we looking at here? Most of you already know, but this is the 36 map. You used to having my 14 map on the table. I've taken that 14 map off because I've cleaned it off, and I'm taking a look at the 36 game. Believe it or not, I haven't even had a chance to play or even set up the version 4 game yet. So my good friend Rank Carcass is coming in a couple of days, and him and I think we're going to try this game, the version 4, and we're going to definitely play a game of Global War 1914. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through a whole game of version 4 though, because there's only 2 of us. I mean, I've asked Sky Marshal if he wants to play as well, but he's really busy, right? So I don't think that he's going to. Hopefully he shows up just to say hi to his friend Rank Carcass, but I don't think that we're going to have enough to play a game of version 4. And for people who've played Global War 1936, you know that the game is it doesn't really work that well with 2 people. You need at least 3 people in order to play the game properly. So what we might do is just set it up, and I mean, we're both experienced 36 players, just to play around with it and to try to help ourselves understand the differences in between version 3 and version 4. There was a guy about a week or 2 ago who commented on one of my videos, and he lives here in Prince George. He was asking if we're getting together for a game. I said, yes, we're looking for somebody, but I haven't been able to connect with him. I don't know why he hasn't contacted me yet. I gave him my number, but anyway, if you're listening, then get a hold of me, because we would love for you to join us if you have the time to play the game. And hey, if any of you guys out there, I don't care where you are in the world, if you want to come here in the next week here, you can join us for a game of both if you want. We're probably going to play both. He's going to be here probably at least a week, and we're gonna have as much fun as we can. We might even make it out to the lake for a day or 2. The weather is really nice this week. It's our first week of spring, basically. It's been cold before, and then now the weather all of a sudden warmed up yesterday. We might even do that. Anyway, moving on, back on to Global War 1914. Coming out, starting to ship on Monday. Now let me just show you some things here. I don't know if you've been to the Historical Board Gaming website lately, but it's actually changed a lot, and it's improved a lot. Doug has his son there working with him right now, and his son has some skills, and so he's actually helped him improve it a lot. And we're changing the way we've done things. Like this is what it looks like now. So there's your Anzac promo that he's got going on. There's the cavalry, the World War I cavalry. So it scrolls kind of like it did before, going through. Here, let me just show you this. We got tons of cavalry here. So that's cool. Like we've got cavalry for everybody now except Japan. And I'm talking about even the minor ones like that. There's a couple of them that aren't on here right now, but there's a Mexican one and a Polish one and a Dutch one and a Chinese warlord one that aren't on here yet, but they're finishing up. So there's cavalry for all the factions in World War One. There's I just processed yesterday a torpedo boat destroyer for the British, and he's looking at doing some more boats, maybe a Japanese boat or something. We'll see. We'll see what gets done next. But anyway, lots to choose from there. So as far as what you're going to get with this game, here I'll show you actually. I'll show you a picture here. So this is a picture. This is down in Tulsa. There's the diplomacy chart. There's another half to the diplomacy chart as well that gives you all the information. And there's your battle boards. You get 2 of those, of course. And there's the IPP chart. There's the Mexican mini map over here, and Balkan mini map is over here, and your tech chart is up top here. So that's cool. And what else? Okay, so yeah, this is the other half of the diplomacy chart here. So you see all the nations. So you kind of identify the roundels, know which one goes where. And there's the ship and facility build queue there, and the victory chart. So like you can place a roundel on those if you've achieved the victory point, right? So that helps you keep track of the score there. And what else? Oh, here also the random events. So this is the core game and the prequel random events in here. I'll just show you what it looks like. It's very simple. Like we didn't do any artwork for it or anything because we haven't really, like, it hasn't been out in the community yet, and we suspect that there could be some changes, eventually. But anyway, you're going to get this book with the core game, and it's going to have them all in here. Like if you followed along while I was playing the demonstration game there, like it's kind of a pain in the butt to have your computer by your side when you're trying to play the game. It would be even worse, of course, if you had a desktop computer and it wasn't in the same room as your game. You'd have to go somewhere just to look up something like this, right? So anyway, that's going to be in there, and that's a good thing. So that's going to be taken care of. So if you go to Global War and Global War 1914, then you've got everything. Like the game, I see, that's where you buy the game. And again, it's not for sale for about another week or so. So a couple new things that are on there. First of all, there's an errata. I've started an errata for the game. So you see the parts in yellow here. That's the changes that were made. And what you'll find on this errata is just the reference sheets. Like there's the Russian reference sheet and German and technology reference sheet. This would be, like if there's any of the reference sheets that need updating, then it'll go on the errata because we no longer have the ability to change the reference sheets. We don't have our artist anymore, and we don't have the program to change it. So if you wanted to print off the reference sheet, go ahead. Probably around, I'm guessing, somewhere time in the fall, we will redo them, and that's when we will do up the rule book as well. We'll make a rule book and we'll redo the reference sheets. So you'll be able to use these reference sheets, and then maybe like if you do print them off, then just go to where it says in the errata, and like just put that in like in pen or something if you want to, right? So that's the errata. And a couple other things just went on there. And that would be down here, the prequel reference sheet. So this is just the setups for the prequel. The how to play the prequel is in the rule book, right? At the back. So there's the setups for it. And we also have the setups for the Russian Revolution. And that would be here. So there's the Ukrainians, and there's your White Army, and the Finnish, and the Germans in the Baltics, and the Polish, and then the Soviet Red Army. And it doesn't list them like it does the other ones because you can put them wherever you want, right? It just tells you what you get, and then you go ahead and put them on. Put them where you think it'd be best. So anyway, there's those reference sheets. Now, as far as the rule book, we are able to continue to update the rule book. So the rule book, it's up to you whether or not you want to print this off or not. Like I was saying earlier, if you're working off a desktop computer in a different room, you don't have a laptop like I do, then you might want to do that, right? But I suspect there will be quite a few more changes. Maybe not, I don't know, because I've actually gone through it the last few months here playing the game and making videos. I was able to correct a lot of the things that were in here. So, but no doubt though, you're going to find some things and you're going to have some questions, right? Once you start playing the game. It's pretty hard to question the rule book when you've never played the game. And so now with the game coming out next week and shipping to people and then putting the units down on the board and starting to move it and play the game, I think that's when the questions are going to come. So it's up to you whether or not you want to download this rule book. We're going to give it probably close to 6 months of keeping the rule book just like this. And then when we've decided, okay, that's enough changes, then we'll print off a real rule book. Like you can see here, we're going to put an image of a convoy line in here, right? You know, like it's not gonna, it's gonna have the image. It's not going to have it say that. So that's the rule book. And there are changes, like a change that I just made, Bob and I made actually, was with the gas. Some people had some questions about gas online there, and so I had to make the change in here, but I also had to put it in the errata because the technology is on a reference sheet as well, right? So we changed that a little bit. Another change that we made, and is in the errata and in the rule book here, is he's playing a game of 14 right now. I don't know if he's finished or not, but him and his neighbor are playing a game, and his neighbor's played a lot of games actually. He's probably played more games than Bob and I, but he mostly plays by himself, right? Anyway, we've kind of decided since their game and the game that I just played that it's probably a little too much for the Italians and the Japanese to roll 2 dice for wartime economy, like 2d6. So we're just going to cut them down to 1d6. And so that's a change that we're able to make easily on here, but not so on the reference sheets, right? And so you'll find that in here, and you'll find it on the errata. I've talked in my last video there about a lot about, you know, buying the stuff and where to buy it online here. I'm not going to go through it all again because I'd just be repeating myself. I'll just show you quickly though. Like if you go to Global War 14, I would start here in the accessories, and there's a lot of different accessories that you can get, right? Like the task force markers. There's the flags, or there's the ones that I have with the pictures on them. You know, there's a snap tray, there's the World War I bucks, and of course there's the train. The build plates, those are handy to have. Neutral roundels. That's not the mini roundels. That's a set of all the roundels for all the neutrals on the board. that's just something if you want to have them, right? There's the labels, and there's the Chinese warlord. Like you can, this doesn't come with the game, these Chinese roundels. You get the card deck, but if you want to buy the roundels, then you can buy this pack rather than having to buy 10 of this red roundel here. You know, like it'll give you the correct amount that you need, right? So you can just buy them all at once. And then you buy the prequel, so you get the 2 mini maps, and you get all the roundels. Like there's a couple of different kind of Mexican roundels, and then there's all the Balkan roundels that you need in there as well. And then the Russian Revolution, you'll get the card deck, and you'll get all of the roundels and markers that you need for the Russian Revolution, except for these ones, and I talked about that in one of my earlier videos. So these ones, you can just mark them with the country, like the British one, or you can get these and mark it, it says British control on them, right? So there you can see, just to get these, that's an extra $25. So that was good of Doug to do something like that. And there's marker packages, like there's a smaller packet, or there's actually this is the big package, sorry. And then you can get more markers if you want. You can take a look through there, see what you think. These mini roundels, you don't need to buy these for the game. These are going to come with the game. What you might want these for, and what I bought them for, was to put in my box. Here, I'll show you. So I'm getting an extra set of them for this reason. And then I'll be able to replace these. See, then I know, okay, this is Cuba, right? And this one is, what's that, Bolivia or something? There's Brazil up there. Anyway, I'm going to have all the little mini roundels in here like this to tell me which nation those are. So that's about the only thing that I think that it would be good for, is something like that, unless you can think of another reason to have them. But anyway, that's something you can purchase, is a mini roundel set like that. And there's the mandatory offensive markers. So these are just sets of things that you can buy, right? There's a set of coasters. Like if you wanted to use these instead of the build plates, you know, that's something that you can do, right? If you don't have enough money right now to buy a set of build plates. Anyway, that's just some of the options. And then once you've done that, there's also the pieces, right? You got your 3D printed units. You've got the 172, so you've got all the nations in here. I've showed you this before. I'm not going to go through it all. Just showing you though, like what you might look for when you're trying to pimp out your game. So just start in the 1914 section, and it's all in here. Everything, all the markers, everything. I thought we were going to have a set of playable nation markers, but we don't have them yet. So I'll talk with Doug about that. And basically what that is just all the major powers, right? Like Britain and Germany and all of the countries. All the roundels that you need for them. Be nice to put that in a set, because some of them you need like 15, right? And if you were to buy them separately, you'd have to buy either 10 or 20. So, you know, it'd be handy to be able to just buy a big set of them. Of course, that set's going to be a few dollars, right? Because you need lots of roundels, right? Those are just the ones on my charts. There's also the other ones. Anyway, so here, let's move this aside now. As far as the random events, though, I showed you there was the core game, and there was the prequel random events, and the other random events they're talking about, that's the card decks, right? So this Chinese card deck you're going to get with the core game. That's included with it. And then this, of course, you'll have to purchase the Russian Revolution set. Anyway, so these are all the things that are printed now. What I've done is, like, here's your unit reference sheet. I know in V4 they decided to put one of these with every nation. we kind of decided what we wanted to do was just make one of them for everybody, right? And then you got your technology reference sheet, and there's other reference sheets that I don't have in here. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a couple of these books, right? And then what I'll do is I'll have like all of the nations in here. So there's Germany and there's Britain, and you'll go through and all of the nations will be in here. But you see, like they've got the setup charts, but they don't have the units on them. The only unit that's on them, each nation has one of these, is like here's the elite infantry. So it'll tell you about the elite infantry for that country. Otherwise, all of the units are the same, and you only need one reference sheet. Anyway, I just thought that would be an easy way to do this, because like if I'm Britain, then I want to see Britain, but I also want to see all the other ones. And you could, if you wanted to do the same thing, you could make up as many books as you want, right? Like if you normally play with 4 people, you might want to go with 4 books. I'm just making 2 because I think, one on both sides of the table. It's not like you all sit around and read them out at the same time, So you can share them if you want. It's up to you though. Do whatever you want, right? That's the cool thing about Global War, is that you customize your own game. You can laminate these or whatever. I wouldn't spend too much money on these. Like you could even make these black and white if you want, because like I said, they're going to change probably in about 6 months, but that's up to you. For me, it would be if I worked at a company that had a printer and I could sneak off and print these for free. Yeah, I'd do that for sure. Same with a rule book. If you're allowed to. I mean, you don't want to be stealing from the company you work for. It's not worth losing your job over, right? But if you got to pay for it, then a little bit different story, right? So that's about it. I don't think I have much more to tell you. I'm really looking forward to getting my game. Looking forward to seeing Rank Carcass again. I haven't seen him since, I think, last summer when he was up for the Sky Marshal Cup. By the way, Sky Marshal just put out a new video today talking about the Sky Marshal Cup coming up this summer. If you haven't seen it, then go check it out. We would love to see you guys up here this summer in Prince George. So that's about all I got. So thanks for joining me today. Take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.